So I'm going to say something that's going to surprise you. My father was killed by a police officer when I was a year old, back in 1973. And what I wanted to do to remedy the void that left in my life was fill it with something productive that was going to make society better for my son, who can now walk along these grounds with me, and I can talk about how far this country has come.
Benny Johnson here with Turning Point USA in Washington, D.C. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous summer day, but it has been a horrible, horrible night. Riots have taken over the city. There have been fires, looting, and a lot of chaos. Who's causing this kind of chaos? Leftists, anarchists, Antifa. These people seek to destroy America and destroy our history. And the way that they are doing it is attempting to rip up our historic monuments and deface them. We're going to talk today to people that are visiting those monuments about what they see and how they feel when they're here in Washington, D.C. trying to appreciate our American history. Let's go find out what they have to say.
My name is Sherman Gillums. I joined in 1990 at the age of 17 and got out in 2002 in the U.S. Marine Corps.
What is your thought when you initially saw that these sacred memorials were being vandalized and desecrated?
Well, first of all, it drips of sad irony because especially the men of World War II, and in many cases women, they fought for the right to protest, to assemble, to have those rights that the Constitution guarantees.
And it's just not the way that I remember, because I'm from old school. I'm from when Martin was marching. This is not Martin. This is not Martin Luther King. It's not him at all. He would not. He marched on the Lincoln Memorial. He came, in groves of people. Thousands of people. Not one life lost, not one building burnt. That was Martin. And he got some results, good, positive results. No, we're not where we want to be, but we're not where we was. We know we got a lot of work to do, but we can't do it the way they're doing it.
Even though we encourage protest as people who served in the military and fought for that right, what we don't encourage is to spit on the memory of the people who gave them that very ability. This is something different. This is something unnecessary, and it's actually counterproductive because what it does, it takes people like me who support the right to protest, and when it goes beyond limits, it's almost as if we're better off not having those protests happen the way they're happening. I want to see change, but I don't want to see change at the expense of remembering the people who were a part of the foundation of this country.
What the young generation need to know is that it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get us to where we are right now. People who sat around tables and they thought about what to do before going out there and just doing anything.
What they forget is there was a time when you could serve in this country, not have all your rights, and a lot of people still served. They're just as much a part of this. They fought for their identity as fighting persons, as people who served. They came back, and eventually society did better. Well, this rolls back the clock even worse than what happened in the history books, because you're reminding people that you can just spit on their service and take away what they earned by fighting on foreign soil by doing this. So there are Black Americans, there are Asian Americans that fought along white Americans who are hurt by what happened here, and we don't want to see that.
Rosa Parks, did she go around burning to make a change? All she said was, I will not get up. I'm gonna sit down because I deserve to sit down. Nobody's building burned, nobody's life was lost, but change came.
So I want to make it clear that while I support the protesters who are in it for the right reasons, that among them, there do exist people who are doing it for the wrong reasons. And just like we're asking police officers to hold their fellow police officers accountable, those protesters need to be just as self-policing as we're expecting other folks to be who were a part of this problem as well.
Tearing down, taking stuff that people built. One poor fellow, my heart just felt. He came, black guy. He said, why are you all burning my building down? I'm Black too. He said, I worked hard to get this. And they can't just see that. So they got to approach this thing in a different way.
My message specifically to the people who are trying to usurp this movement and this cause is you're not just part of the problem, you're an even bigger problem, because there was a change imperative before this that led to this, and there's a possibility things can get better. This will not help that. This will actually undermine everything that all of us are trying to do, whether you're white, black, whatever color. We all want to see this happen, but the one way this can go wrong or get worse is to have the threat of anarchy try to fill the void where systemic racism once sat. This isn't good for the movement. This is actually making it worse. If you're among those who see this as an opportunity to inject disrespect for tradition, for heritage, and again, this is a black, a white, brown, red, yellow heritage that we're talking about, then you're worse than the people who got us here. Because those people at least may learn, at least they'll be changed, or at least they'll not want this to happen again. I'm the person that you're protesting for, ostensibly. But I chose to serve my country and do it the way that you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to find a way to serve, not destroy.
This is a block from the White House. The door shattered, the glass shattered. This building, at least the edifice of it, absolutely decimated. What is this building that elicited so much hate and destruction? The AFL-CIO, one of the largest unions in the country. AFL-CIO unionized labor. This doesn't make any sense. This is what people on the left want. This doesn't have any rationality to it. This isn't anti-racist. This isn't for the workers. This isn't anti-fascist. This is anarchy. And that's exactly what they want, to divide us and scare us. Do not be scared. Do not let your heart be troubled. Listen to the words of the people here today. This country is more important, and the values that we have based our country on is stronger than a couple pieces of shattered glass. Do not let this country be shattered. That can't be put back together. This has been Benny on the Block, Washington, D.C.